NERDSoul.
Lay Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing this StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today, oh yeah, we are chilling. We got a new crew together. We talking about anime. We barbershopping it up, beauty shopping it up, doing what we got to do. Now we do have one member that isn't here. You know, we want her to get well soon. But look, I ain't by myself. No. We got first Ninja Sama. What's up?
Good morning, good evening, good night. It is Ninja Samba Cosplay broadcasting live from the couch. And by live, I mean pre-recorded remarks.
Shout out. Then next we got Mark Dub, you know what I'm saying? Part man, part thug. What up?
What is going on, y'all? It's Mark Dub, part man, part thug. Using my heart for what hearts are made for. And that is anime on this fine morning. Because I'm not... Am I saying what morning?
Yeah, sure.
Good morning now.
Good day.
It's morning. I ain't gonna sing, y'all. Good morning, y'all.
Wow.
It's Dub.
Lastly, we got Keith, and of course, he rounds out the crew of Blerd-ish. What's up, man?
What's up, y'all? Happy to be here. This is kind of like a part of anime-ish. I always wanted to make it more of a thing. So we got the homies here, NERDSoul, Mark Dub, Ninja. And I'm looking at my screen. The way I'm holding my phone, we're missing Gamma. If we had Gamma, we'll be able to form Voltron. So that's how we rolling on this Sunday.
Oh, look, missing the right leg. Oh, man.
Yes.
I'm giving a shout out to Gamma because Gamma is the main reason that I reached out and did this, because I was like, yo, the conversation that we had was way too good to just end on that. We got to get together again. We got to do some more convos and have some more fun and all that good stuff. So we up in here. We talk like he said, this is, we linking up with anime-ish, and we talk about anime. Look, old, new, fresh, whatever, good, bad. We talking about it. Now I'm gonna throw it to Ninja. You know what I'm saying? Because Ninja, yo, she deep in them streets. What should we talk about first?
Oh, but John. Well, so I mean, I think we should save some of the homages and stuff to a later, because it's a little bit more of a deep dive at that point, which is kind of my bread and butter. But I think we should keep it a little clean, keep it a little let's go over the past year or two in anime and how it's evolved and what's been good, what's been overhyped. And I think that'll be a pretty good starting point, because there's been some, we're getting almost, dare I say, to an oversaturation, because it's easy to consume and it's kind of a little harder to find the gems. So I think people will appreciate if we kind of explain what we've been looking at for the past couple of years or so.
Let me see. You know what, Ninja, you go. What have you been watching for the last, let's say year or two? So
for the past year or two, thinking back in my archives here, I'll start from the top down. Demon Slayer season 2, yes. My Hero, Spy Family. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna say the words here. I promise I'm gonna say them here shortly. Rent a Girlfriend. There we go. That was one that's come out recently. This in the slice of life.
I watched it too.
No, I don't feel bad.
Game that bad
that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't feel bad. I will watch anything from across the board, because anime can get risque and all that. I watch it all, so I have no that shame went away in high school. So I don't.
Not that shame.
The shame none does not ring upon me anymore. So I'm pretty much a wide blanket there. But I also started rewatching some stuff here and there. As well, rewatching My Hero, rewatching parts of Naruto Shippuden, rewatching some of the older parts of Bleach as I watched it, the new arc now too. So there's just a little bit of everything across the board.
Word. Keith.
I'm gonna follow in Ninja's footsteps. Some of the stuff I have overlap. I have watched Rent a Girlfriend. It is funny. I've read it. Reading it gets a little boring though after a
Who
while. I have to
who
put it down.
put me on Rent a Girlfriend too? So I too have watched a couple of episodes.
Funny for those 13 episodes, but now that I know how long it could be, I might have to check out and be like, yeah, I'll get back to this, whatever. It's one of those things, like, you know, it's good for 13 episodes that they make to make you go read the manga, but the manga didn't kind of keep me interested after a while. I was like, all right.
So there is a second season that came out this year. The thing I
more
appreciate
girlfriends
about
to rent.
there's a little, I don't know how long it'll go. Like if Coop said, if it will go to duration. But what I do like about Rent a Girlfriend, there's a few other ones like this too. We're starting to see stories of people in college and older.
Thank God.
Over the past 5 years. So
Thank
we don't necessarily always have to go in high school all the time. So that's what got me interested, is that we're looking at actual adults, you know, hanging out, having a beer, stuff like that. Yeah.
You need to have more.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. Japan be putting youth in danger all the time, son.
Oh, bro.
Like, they be like, hey, you, how old are you? 13. We need you to put all the weight of the country on your back and go fight.
Weight of the country. Try weight of the universe.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, I watched that. I've been, as far as an older rewatch, I've been rewatching. In the past year, I think me and Mark, I got Mark into watching Cowboy Bebop. I rewatched almost all of Cowboy Bebop. I didn't finish it because they canceled the damn live action, which I'm not happy about. But the anime is legendary. Wow.
It's their own fault.
It's the ninja.
That joint was whack.
Oh wow.
That
But anyway,
joint was whack.
I didn't finish it, man.
I disagree with you guys vehemently. I'm the new guy. I'm the new fight. I don't know nothing.
But
I know, I loved it. So,
but Michiko and Hatchin, I love.
Oh yeah.
Michiko and Hatchin, I'm gonna get Mark to watch that. That's a dope show. Oh my god!
If you like Cowboy Bebop, you're gonna like Michiko Tahachi.
Yeah, exactly. You just will. And it deals with a lot of interesting. Speaking of adult things, very adult. You know, as you watch it, it's one of those animes when you watch it, you don't feel the weight of it, but then you watch it later as a parent, and you watch it and you see what's going on, say, with child abduction and other stuff and corrupt political stuff. You get a different view of it when you watch it a little bit.
Because I haven't watched that since it came out, so maybe I should.
Not very many anime talk about baby mama drama.
I might have to spin the block on that, and you know what I'm saying, I watch it again. Even though I did listen to it on the cross country trip, because I got the soundtrack and all that.
Oh, the soundtrack is dope. I love the video. What else I've been watching? Of course, I've been watching the new season of My Hero. We'll get to that later, but I watched the old season. Demon Slayer 2, GOAT. It's one of the best. Love it.
On another level.
As far as slice of life, one of my favorite is Love is War. How you say the whole name?
Kagura-sama, Love is War.
Kagura-sama.
I don't like that. I couldn't stick with it personally.
I love it. Well, B is one of the. I love it. I also been watching Don't Bully Me, Miss Nagatoro. I love that one. It's slice of life.
Yeah.
And I love. I don't know what happened to my uncle is from another world. He got it. I know it's in Netflix jail or something.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, and it just like stopped at episode 7. I don't know what's going on with it. And the other slice of life is like the one that's like a Power Ranger parody send up about what if the Red Ranger was in love with like one of the evil people on the other side. That was very funny too. So I got a mix of high action, crazy stuff, supernatural with comedy going on.
Alright, word up. Mark, what you watching?
Man, look, I'm still learning. Coop got me watching. I started with Avatar, y'all. I fell in love with it.
See, now that's your first mistake. You called Avatar an anime.
Hey.
No. Hold on. No. Avatar is definitely an anime.
It is not. It is absolutely not. Neither is Boondocks. As fantastic as it is not an anime.
Can I say this? Hold up. Can I say this? What's the name of the group I call it? Anime-ish. Various things. Aha. But I know it's just anime inspired. Can we give Mark some grace on that?
I mean,
But
gee.
They're both
My-
being animated at the same places.
Let me
Both of these things are being animated in the same places.
Yeah, but it's not.
And
you know what?
even
Let me
anime
do this.
directors
Let me
have called
not-
these properties animes.
Let
So-
me not gatekeep.
Thank
I
you.
will agree to disagree just because I don't want to deter.
Thank you.
But I'm not conceding the point. I'm just agreeing to disagree. Please continue with your list, Mark. I'm sorry for
Well, gee,
interrupting you.
I mean, I watched Demon Slayer. I think that's an anime. Is that an anime?
Yes.
Yes.
It's an anime.
Okay.
Yes. Mark.
I mean, I'm scared to say my list now.
I'm good. I apologize. You're good. You're good.
I mean, I don't have that many more. I've watched some.
You
My
watched
Hero
Death
Academia.
Note?
It's-
In fact,
They make it so fast.
Can we jump into this point? I've been dying to hear Mark's review of Death Note. Can we give Mark that, since he haven't watched much, but he watched Death Note and he was hitting me up every day. He was like, "Gee, goddamn!" It was like, "I hate Light Yagami." I said, "Just wait, bro. I'm telling you, man. He's a piece of ish, but it's coming."
We can deep dive Death Note later. I'll say this: it was cool, man. Coop had given me spoilers long ago, but I didn't know anything as I watched it. But I started seeing certain things. I didn't know that Light's death was coming, and I couldn't wait for it to happen. I was like, I got to get to the end of the series so I can see this mother father bite the bullet, because I hate him so much.
Bruh, it's just I hate it.
Dude, does slip out of the most catchable situations.
God.
He really was really brilliant, a real brilliant tactician, but he still made mistakes that he should have got popped on. Ugh.
All I'm gonna say, y'all, if Light Yagami is your favorite character out there, I don't trust you. That's your favorite anime character, I don't trust you.
Now, I will say this: not that Light is not my favorite character by any means, but I do tend to I don't really like protagonists to begin with. Not that Light is a protagonist; he's not. But I do like characters that are the main character, but they are morally skewed slightly. So, one of my homies is always going to be Lelouch. I think Lelouch is that guy. Now, yes, is he a sociopath? Probably.
Yes.
But I enjoyed seeing someone that wasn't just always very best. You flavor of the day protagonist.
About Lelouch, though, at least Lelouch was trying to fight a war. Light is just, I'm gonna be God.
Now, well, yes and no. Yes, Lelouch was trying to fight a war, but he also had some other motives and things like that, and also very much had a god complex as well.
Yeah.
Which is okay. It made him more interesting. I would argue that Light is a more interesting character because he has some of those obvious character flaws, rather than just being kind of an untouchable, wholesome, goody-goody type of guy. Then he wouldn't have used the Death Note if he was. He needed to have that moral compass that was off.
He could have used it. He could have used it for the power of good, though. And you know what I'm saying? But he ain't do that.
Well,
in his mind at the start of it all.
Right.
It was some idea.
In his mind,
It
he felt like he was.
He was cleaning up the world.
But that goes to that skewed. Yeah, he was wrong in his actions, but in his mind, as we're watching as the viewer, he is believing that he is going about it in the way that seems feasible and correct for him.
It was so funny. He sounded so altruistic for 3 seconds, and then he turned into petty Patty right away.
Oh man, you
dare make better grades than me?
When
when
Light's true voice kick in, it's like, oh, this mother effer is bent.
Homie died.
He was crazy. He was drunk.
Homie died for being a good student. Homie died for being on the honor roll. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah, that's when you go a step too far. just one step too far.
Like, damn, cuz I mean, he was abusive, manipulative, POS. I mean, the man hated everything. And even that, as unlikable, as weird as L was, L didn't deserve that death. Oh my god.
Oh man, look, L was getting on my nerves too, though. I mean, L was smart as hell, but L had a very Goku like, I will throw you in front of the train to test myself.
L would push, like, when I say he got on my nerves, not because like I don't like the character. I like the character. He's just a bizarre person. But I guess to catch the type of criminals,
you needed someone, to have that can go into that train of thought to catch this killer, so to speak. You needed someone that was a little him and old little dude that comes in, yeah.
But my thing is, what's up with L in the note? Did they ever explain why he don't wear shoes and the sweets, and why he dressed like a hobo?
Yeah, that is true. Homie dressed like he just went into the store real quick.
Yeah, I work with a whole bunch of really smart, eccentric people. Yeah, they some weird. Shout out to Golden Wang, man.
And also, L never sat down. He always sat perched like a gargoyle.
I mean, I'm sure there's some deep dive on this to why his personality is especially like that, and how his mind probably thinks it has some different
they
quirks
probably
and whatnot.
Maybe and I'm not I guess now that I look back at it, maybe he was autistic. Who knows? I would like to know more about it. I would like to know why his mind worked the way it did. But he was very intelligent, very smart. And the funny thing is, you couldn't run up on L. Like, he looked like he's old milk sop, but then he'll beat the hell out of you. That's terrible.
Yeah, homie did have skills.
He had to pass the test.
Hey, L was pretty much Robert Pattinson Batman.
Oh.
He was like, I don't need no shit or a bath. I gotta catch the killer.
I mean, he's not. I don't see a lie. And I haven't seen them in the same room together, so therefore, it's bad.
That wig be all over the map.
Oh yeah, all right, see, because I've never seen the anime of Death Note. I've only seen the live action film. So the Japanese flicks, and then
the Japanese or the American version.
Both.
Okay.
So I've seen those, but yo, man, look, I don't know what the fascination with these wigs is, but yo, it's like the Japanese version of the Tyler Perry wig, man. Like, them joints be looking bad, son. Like, them wigs be help.
They try to put a wig on like how they do it in RDC1 World. Shout out to them. Watch their anime house parodies.
Yeah, but that's them parodying these cats.
This is a very good point.
Like, RDC's wigs shouldn't be looking just as good as like their production wig.
Oh my god!
It's the same company that did the Valerians. It's all the same. It's a monopoly. Bad wigs everywhere across the board. Everybody.
So,
Walking
Mark
Dead.
Dub,
Y'all
you got
too.
any more?
Goodness, Coop. What else have I watched?
You actually what?
So this is the part where I give a name drop. Now that you are becoming a connoisseur, you might want to make yourself a My Anime list, and this way you can keep a track of what you've been watching and what you thought about it, what you rated, and then you have a little idea of what you've seen.
Hey, you know what? I said earlier, that's why I'm doing this, because I know my friends are gonna put me onto so much good stuff. I'm lucky. I get to sit in on this and just take notes.
Yeah, you could
Mark.
also add anime that you want to watch on there. I'm not sponsored by these people, I swear.
Oh, they're a whole app.
Yeah, they're an app website.
It sounds like they need to sponsor.
They've been around since like Web 1.0. They're not new. That's just it's an old way of looking at it.
I
do have some.
So let me throw down what I've been seeing. See, the last few years. All right, I'm gonna throw this up. So to support Mark, I have rewatched the whole Avatar. Avatar and the Legend of Korra.
I have.
Yes.
Oh,
yes. Rewatch that. Straight up, hotness. You know what I'm saying? I love both versions. Korra hard-headed, but you know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah,
she kind of learns in the end. She kind of learns.
Right.
So
she gets better, man.
I think Korra is extremely underrated. And she gets way too much. She learns way too much slack.
In fact, Ninja, can I support you on this one? It's vastly underrated. The animation of it improved. Like, it was good animation. But the adultness of Korra, she's hard-headed, but the series is great. Like, she got to learn, but like, that's a good series. Yeah,
my only issue with Korra overall is that the writers bent the knee, so to speak, about the storylines. But it was something that was kind of swimming in their head, this and that, whatever. And I think that the right move would be for them to be on Netflix and continue doing animated features, not this whatever live action situation is happening. But Korra
is the live action still happening? Or is
it's happening. It's happening, but the writers have backed away from the project. But it is still
happening.
Yeah, Netflix owns
it ain't happening. Mark my words, the joint is not coming out.
It's happening. It's just not going to be good.
Yeah, that's what. Look, they backed off and made Avatar Studios and worked these deals out to make the story continue in movies.
I mean, there are comics expanding on this story. There are prequels. There's Kyoshi's story. There's stories of Aang when he's grown. I really have been waiting for over a decade for the story of the Earthbending Nation twin avatars that come after Korra. I'm ready to. There's nothing much more written upon that. I'm ready to do that instead of retelling the last the last Airbender over and over again, because that was already perfectly done. I don't need to rehash this and look at this again. If I want to do that, I'll just go rewatch the series.
Yeah, I will say the movie, the feature that they got coming with Aang and stuff, it's like I'm kind of hyped, but then at the same time, I'm like, I want to move forward.
Are we sure that's official and not fan made? Or are we sure that's official?
I think it's official, but I will say this for the folks who, instead of reliving it, I told Mark this. Please go read the comic books. They are wonderful. It picks up right after the series ends for Aang, and the comics pick up right after where Korra ends. So you learn more about the world that they built in each timeline. Learn about what happened with Zuko and his history. I ain't even gonna spoil it because I want people to know about it. You're gonna know more and more will come out. But like, if you love Avatar, the comic books are a absolute must. I don't know about the prequels. Some of the art style threw me, but I guess do the prequels too. But you must do the Dark Horse ones that pick up right where the show ends. Because if you do not pick those up, you're missing a good chunk of everything that flows into Korra, that flows into this, that flows in that. And I do want to see adult Avatar, Team Avatar. I do. So
it's like, I mean, I do, but then a part of me wants to like see something new. And I mean, I know they're gonna have new stories, but I want to see like new people. That's
the camp I'm in. Yeah.
But I also think that's probably why Korra caught a lot of flack, because it was like they were very low on new people. I mean very low on old people. Like it was almost completely new people. I don't think people like it.
It threw people off because it was such a rapid time jump to go from their children to they're like dead and old. You're like, what the hell happened? There's a lot in between that happened. Like you see Zuko, he looked like Roku. So he had a whole life. He's flying on a dragon, what happened? Like, we need to know.
For me and the people I talked to, that wasn't really much more of a thing. They more so had an issue with Korra, like in herself as an avatar and how she goes about the mantle and all this and that, whatever.
Yeah.
Which I think is a little unfair. Yes, she kind of has a little bit of a reset each season, but she's a stubborn, bullheaded teenager. So like who else? Who was a teenager learned their lesson once and just like chilled out on it, especially when you've been hyped up all your life as the avatar.
I'll say this though.
That was my issue with Korra, but that's more a writer problem than. I mean, yes, it flows through the character, but what I truly think is the writers didn't really know how else to write a teenager except being angsty. And that's just a Hollywood issue. So they're like, all right, well, we don't know what to do. It's like, all right, well, she learned her lesson and now she's cool. She should go on to another adventure and have another problem. Well, we don't know how to write another problem. Let's make her angsty again.
One of the weak links of the show, somebody posted this. I think I shared it with Mark and it made me laugh. And I know we get deep in Avatar.
It's all good.
Mako is the loser of this series. That boy lost Asami and he lost Korra. And both his exes went and started dating each other. So Mako is the loser.
You know, my issue with that
I didn't even think about that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, it's better to have loved than lost, right? You know what I'm saying?
I didn't really have an issue with the exes dating. I had more so the issue that they clearly didn't know what else to do with this character, which I thought was a little unfair for him and Bolin, at least a little bit. You know, like I think some of the writing across the board, even the Sami, like they kind of fizzled a little bit because I think it wasn't supposed to be 4 seasons, which is why there was like a rush at the end there. I don't think that it was supposed to. Maybe it should have been 3 seasons. I think because the second season in itself is by far the outlier as far as not having a good antagonist / villain. Versus the other villains were immaculate in my opinion, and that's one of the things I hold above it, above the original cast a little bit. The original show is that I really like the villains, and they wrote them correctly. She
definitely had harder villains.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, her villains were great. Like even though Aang had,
Kuvira wasn't no joke, man. Kuvira.
I ain't even gonna say Kuvira. The best villains to me is the season 1 and then season 3, the the Red Lotus. Oh my God, Red Lotus.
Oh yeah.
Zahir. They were all good.
Zahir was crazy.
Oh my goodness, they were all so good. Like
Zahir,
man, when I saw them, I was scared as hell for Team Avatar. I was like, boy, they not gonna be able to deal with them.
I love that they all represented some type of political ideology that is actually rooted in society. I thought that was a good way to write that, especially
Zahir even went after the babies.
It's a quote-unquote kids show, right? So I think that was a good way.
Zahir and them made that show. That's part of the reason why Nickelodeon was getting all antsy at the time. They couldn't handle it. It should have been on Netflix. If it would have been somewhere else on streaming than Nickelodeon. Because when Zahir he killed the queen, and you saw her gasping for air. Like even they tried to censor it, she still was gasping for air.
And not even then. Season 1, there was a death suicide.
Yeah, there's a murder suicide at the end of season 1.
Murder suicide, yeah, like the first season. It was always meant to be grittier, and the writers admitted that they struggled with Nickelodeon the whole time. With how it all came out, but they were stuck to contracts, so they had to keep modifying and going about it certain ways.
But having an evil aim, as in Zahir, to know that he can choke the life out of you, I never thought about that. He can bend the air out of you.
You take the air right out of your lungs.
Now, y'all,
that's why it's like certain things. It's like even with like X-Men, someone like Iceman could just freeze the blood in your veins and you're done. Like,
right.
So, I gotta ask y'all a question. So, what's scarier, blood bending or air bending the lungs out of your body?
It depends. Your death is gonna be worse with the airbending one, but both are equally formidable and gonna kill you drastically in the same way. I mean, pretty much of sub bending has like this dark subclass that like is not meant to be something that's widely known in practice.
Because I mean, blood bending you could do blood and airbending both. You could probably give someone an aneurysm. Blood bending, you could do a heart attack. Airbending, you could make somebody choke. Like there's tons of there's tons of things. But I mean, of course, it's bending, Nickelodeon, guys.
Death by bending looks like it just sucks. It's a either way.
You know what's the worst though? Death by boomerang.
Oh man, no. What's the worst is having your head wrapped in a metal pin or a metal
exploded.
Helmet.
Yes.
God that was dope. That was dope. Like that.
That was one of the. That was. She deserved. She got that. That death was one of the biggest. And then it just cut straight to the credits like after that too.
Everybody just looked away.
Like just going on with decapitation.
That was a light Yagami-esque death. Like I needed her. I needed her to go out like that.
I felt bad for her, but she deserved it. What's her name?
I don't remember that character's name. Zahir's girlfriend. That's all I.
Zahir's girlfriend. When he saw that, he was like, "I have nothing else tying me to the world."
Hey, they were in love for real. Okay.
Yo, she let that man. Shouts to the bald-headed brothers. You know what I'm saying? You know, even though he was evil, you know what I'm saying?
Evil people need love too.
That's
human nature.
Man. So all right. So let me see. Next up, something that I rewatched a little bit. A show called, well, I guess I'd call it a show. It had like 2 seasons, maybe 3. But Sengoku Basara. It's like feudal Japan and a whole bunch of dope fight scenes. It's a bunch of dope fight scenes. Oh, just so you guys know, I'm an action man, so there ain't gonna be no slice of life in my list. All right, it's like unless people is fighting and karate chopping, I'm not watching it.
Excuse me, guys. I have to put the church finger up. I have to dip for a second. I have to take my son to work. I'll be right back. Y'all continue to talk about this stuff. I'll be taking notes.
So Sengoku Basara is dope. I'm gonna throw Blood of Zeus in there because that piqued my interest. I enjoyed that.
I wish it was better.
What was
Blood of Zeus? I watched that one as well.
Yeah, Blood of Zeus. Blood of Zeus is on point. And then one that I've watched many times over, Castlevania. When you bring in the supernatural action plus all the cool fight scenes, I gotta give it to Alucard and Trevor and Cypher. You know what I'm saying?
Some of the best voice acting around. Best action.
Castlevania was very good. There were some lulls in season 2, but some downtime in dip in animation. But I can't remember the studio who does it. But they did a fantastic job with the animation, the action,
and they got a brother in it that don't die. They got a brother in it that you know what I'm saying. He actually got some power.
Well, he wasn't even a brother in the video game. They changed the character up.
Oh, word?
Yep.
Well, look, he a brother from now on.
he sure in the hell is.
Now the next is one that I used to stand by and say that this anime is immaculate and it has never faltered or failed. But recently, I think that it's missed a step, unfortunately, and it's hurt my heart a little bit.
Oh Lord, let me guess. Go ahead.
Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell is an anime that I had said had never ever slipped. But the new stuff on Netflix, it's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah, I didn't touch it.
I didn't even watch it yet.
It's not my favorite. The 3D, it's not coming through for a brother.
That is an issue with animation in general. Is this 3D shading situation and how to properly implement it so it doesn't take you out of the scene or out of the show. And they're starting to cut back on it some. But yeah, it kind of reached a peak about a year ago.
It's already been proven the way to rock this thing is either through Into the Spider-Verse or Into the Spider-Verse or Arcane. That's how you rock that. You know what I'm saying? don't like Ghost in the Shell. You still Ghost in the Shell. You still my love. You know what I'm saying?
By
You
the
got
way,
2 dope movies. You got like 4 OVAs and 2 seasons of a hot show. Y'all still my hotness. All right, y'all
can I throw
still.
something in?
But y'all new stuff, you're hurting me.
You know, you just mentioned something. I'm on Ninja. Don't chop me in the head. This isn't quite it. It's anime-ish. It's not an anime. But since you did say Spider-Verse, for folks who like something a little bit different, Intergalactic. I did watch Intergalactic.
Oh,
The
shout
Kid
out to
Cudi joint.
I did hear it
Shout
was
out to
good.
Cudi.
Yo, it's like I don't smoke, but I hear that
Cudi.
if you smoke during it, it's gonna be AA plus tier. But that's
It's been on my watch list. I definitely plan on checking it out for a fan of general animation in itself. And it does have that, like you said, that Into the Spider-Verse look.
It's
So,
the same company I think did it, but it
it makes sense.
it didn't cost as much as say Into the Spider-Verse, but it still looks beautiful, sound beautiful. They animated all the voice actors the animation were based on how the voice actors look, since it was very custom, to Kid Cudi and them. Macaulay Culkin pops up, and just beautiful blackness on screen. Just it's kind of like this generation's, dare I say, animated Love Jones, and I hope that they bring another version back. Low stakes but thoughtful stakes.
Yeah.
And the
It's a
music
nice
is
slice of life.
nice slice of life. Music is wonderful. How they made it all flow together. So
Yeah,
gotta
'cause
give
Word.
for Kid Cudi, it has a lot of joints that, because if you watch Beast Vibes Life, his newest albums, I'm not a huge fan on, but his older joints, I'm a big fan on. He uses his newer music in the movie, and it flows so well that it doesn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? The animation comes through, the voice acting comes through. Shouts to that, for real.
The animation and the music go hand in hand. They make each other better.
Yep.
I would like to go back to a point right before we went to Intergalactic and everything. We were talking about animation and stuff like that, and the dip in the quality of some of the more recent stuff. One of there's some studios out there just absolutely killing it right now, and I hope that they are taking better care of their workforces, like Studio Mappa, Studio Wit.
Yeah.
Shout out to Studio Period, because I didn't think they had it with in them for the new Bleach. They kept it, and they are absolutely just killing the animation in this season. And I mean, if y'all are like me and you've watched like Naruto all the way through and all that same studio, and you've seen the rinky-dink things that they can do, but they put their mind to it. They put a lot of tender love and care, and so shout out to them as well. But mainly to that point, when you said, Mike, that animation kind of like there's kind of a formula that works and it pleases people, and one of those formulas that works, and I said I wasn't going to get into it, but I guess I'll get into it because I'm talking, is like 80s, 90s animation in anime is by far still one of the best quality in the genre that you're ever going to find. And there is one show that came out in the past 4 or 5 years, maybe I'm dating that wrong, Megalobox, which tries to emulate this animation by reducing the quality. And if you like Cowboy Bebop, if you like Samurai Champloo, Michiko to Hachin, that is one that I would like to suggest and recommend for y'all to check out.
I'll do that. Let's see. After Ghost in the Shell, I'll give it to Jujutsu Kaisen, who I've enjoyed for a good amount, but I will say Jujutsu Kaisen has kind of dropped for a brother. I'll get into why it's dropped for a brother in a second, but Jujutsu Kaisen, supernatural action, which I love. I love supernatural action and supernatural horror, and then plus the cool fight scenes. Can't beat it. One that's like random, but the fight scenes were great, is just to pick up and put down God of High School. once again, Japan
Oh,
putting like the
Lord.
fate of the world on like, hey, how old are you?
Well,
I'm
it was
15.
Korea.
All right, how about we
So
put the
Ghana
fate of
High
the world
School
on you?
is
It's
Ghana High
animated in Korea, but
Oh, well,
yeah. It's that is another new thing that's come up. I'm glad you mentioned it. It's come up over the past couple of years or so.
I couldn't finish
Because
it.
webtoons are so popular. Manhwa, if you're a traditionalist, webtoons have come up in popularity so much that it's interesting that we're getting live action as well, but also anime of these. And God of High School is one. Tower of God is an even better one. Tower of God is absolutely dope. It's
okay.
unique in animation. They do the story right. It's pretty close to the adaptation. God of High School was animated by Studio Mappa, I believe, too.
Great.
But
Yeah, the fights are crazy.
The story, though.
Yeah, webtoon. Yeah,
Yeah, the
they just
story
didn't
is
do the story
they
right,
don't know what
and
they're
it
doing.
got
They just
story.
like, we need an excuse to do fights.
It didn't make no sense. Like and then I realized my friend told me like how long the story is. Like, you
Yeah, they
shouldn't
did
take
too
that long.
much.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
looked beautiful.
It was stunning.
Yeah.
The hand-to-hand combat in itself is
Hand-to-hand
worth
was
checking
great.
out. Yeah.
They should have just did an arc on the school part, like when it was in the ring, and I would have been happy with that.
Yeah.
After that,
Yeah,
Well,
what up?
Unfortunate it's canceled, but it's still worth checking out the fights just to see some really well done fights, different fighting styles.
yeah.
Let's see. Speaking of fights, My Hero. Gotta throw My Hero in there, you know what I'm saying? Shoto's back, you know what I'm saying? Kachan, he back, you know what I'm saying? Got my boy Midori up in that joint. You know what I'm
So
saying?
we ready to have a little My Hero discussion, spoiler free for our friend Ninja, so we don't,
You know what?
don't-
Yeah,
I know what happens in My Hero because I read.
Okay, cool. Then we can talk about it straight up. Then I'll get to my last anime that I'm watching. So, all right, My Hero. I didn't know it was back. He hit me up. He was like, "Yo, you watching My Hero?" I was like, "Nah, man, it's on over right now." He's like, "Nah, he is back." I was like, "What you mean it's back?" He's like, "No, it's back." So I went over to Crunchyroll. I said, "Hey, what you doing?" Crunchyroll said, "We got them episodes for you." I said, "What episodes?" They said, My Hero, bro. I said, "Oh, all right." So I started playing. I said, "Oh, hold up. See, the last time we left, we knew things was bubbling, but oh no, now it's boiling over." Yo, this season has been nothing but fly fights, and thank you for the dope fights and very, very little filler.
Like, Mike, see, I had to hit you up because I like the school arc when they was going against. I like to know a little bit more about stuff. I don't mind I was about to say something, messing around a little bit for a few episodes, and you give me some of that. But I know this is gonna be a Mike Alley because you action man over here.
Yep.
They roll up to the hospital. Get out of here now. We fight. That's it.
That was it. And it's been on ever since.
Yeah, I mean, My Hero is really good season to season at building upon this main story. It's not like a villain of the season situation, even though it can't feel like that. With the exception of one villain arc that they could have missed me with, we could deal without. But
I like the overhaul. If that's over, you talking about overhaul. I like the overhaul.
No, I'm not talking about overhaul. No, overhaul is part of the story. No, the lovey-dovey, the lolly looking girl and the gentleman dude. Yeah, that short.
Yeah.
Midoriya basically beats them up on the way to the festival. That's basically it's not filler, like it's actually part of the manga and everything, but they could have, that wasn't needed. But but I do like that they just keep building, like with each, like this happened with this villain, so then the repercussions of that is why we're having this fight now, and I think that's really cool.
And to be honest, My Hero really don't have filler. They do like it in the off season where they use world building to kind of show what the other characters are doing and to see their training. But it is kind of.
But that's not filler. Yeah, that's
it's practically filler free. So I just want to clear that up. It ain't like the old days. Just even though if it's a story that don't feel like a main story, My Hero is actually one of the great hits of using its time to tell something. They ain't fooling around. Even if it feel like they're fooling around on a couple of episodes, it all kind of connects. It all matters. or at least
Like,
show.
all I'm saying is, if I turn on this episode and all I hear is do 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 do, I'm gonna be like, no.
Oh, not the NERDSoul filler music. Oh God.
I'm gonna be like, get out of here.
Oh,
that has always been an issue with the Naruto franchise. Is someone who loves the Naruto franchise, and they didn't learn their lesson with Boruto, and is absolutely unfortunate considering how strong the manga is that they really just needed to do that, and then they spent 3 years of filler before they even started where the manga started. Was absolutely wild to me.
I'm gonna finish Boruto one day, but I put it down. I put it down for months.
I never even watched it. I was like, I'm good.
Just read the manga. Well, they are doing they're doing some I think it's from Naruto Gaiden. There's like a collection of books between Boruto and where our Naruto ends. You see some of Sasuke's CIA antics and stuff like that. They are gonna animate that now.
Oh, okay.
That's not gonna be as part of Boruto though. I think it's gonna be its own, I don't know, like a mini series or something like that. Yeah.
Now you talk about how I talk about how we didn't want to see more of Avatar adults. Seeing more of Sasuke and Naruto as adults is worth it. I'll take that. Over.
They need to go on and drop a collection of Naruto and Shippuden, like with all the fillers removed in Blu-ray, and I'll buy it. You know what I'm saying? Just remove all the fillers. You know what I'm saying? Even if half of the episode is a filler, just cut half of that episode out. Go in and package it up. I'll buy it. You know what I'm saying?
Is that like about 3-4 seasons? That's just going.
Which is fine. It really is fine.
The funny thing is, talk about Dragon Ball. When DBZ Kai came out, I watched it all the way through, and I was like, you know what? I could probably still clip about 20 of these episodes. I was like, yo, look, get to the point. Is someone affected in this episode? Did someone do something? No, if we ain't doing nothing, you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, My Hero, they got 2 movies. I think I've only seen one. There's another one I don't think I've seen, but My Hero this season. Because they got there's 3? All right, cool. Then yes. I need to go on buy those so I can own them, have them, watch them, all that good stuff.
I'll say this though, as far as pretty movies, cool. The third one is the weakest.
What is the third one? There's the one where they go to the island.
Yeah.
There's the one where it's about All Might being in America. And then what's the third one?
The third one, the second one was when they went to the island to fight the dude, to help the family that
Oh yeah.
But then they had the first one was kind of the island one where they went to America and they was like just kind of getting started, and his ex sidekick was on the island or something. The third one is just like it's some blue dude who I don't know, kind of framed Midoriya or something a little bit, and the guy
Johnny Bosch's voice. I think that. Yeah, I watched them all then. I forgot.
With the squirrel or something. It was alright.
With a squirrel? What?
Like, I don't know. He had a parrot. The guy that was chasing had a parrot.
Oh, no, never mind. I have seen the second one. I thought, I got that confused with the season. I thought that happened on the season. Yeah, I've seen 2 Heroes and Heroes Rising. Heroes Rising was, how can I forget? That was the one.
That was the one where they had that, with the...
Heroes Rising was the time... yeah, go ahead.
That infuriated me. See, I have PTSD, and I deleted that movie from my head because that's when that was the first thing that My Hero has done that basically had to get retconned. And I'm like, why are we doing this? Because they had that moment when they, spoiler, I guess, there's a transfer, you know what I'm talking about? And it implicates things that you would think would go over to the show, but it can't because of the mechanics of it. And it ends on this whole note of like, well, we're just gonna have to act like this thing didn't happen. And I was infuriated when I left the movie theater.
I'll just be honest, I don't care. Movie 2 is my favorite, one of my favorite anime movies.
It's like hotness, but that was the movie I went to and that kid spilled his popcorn on me, so how could I forget that? I forgot about it.
Yeah, like I watched that a few times. I've shown it 2 times in anime night. The first one was cool. I did like the first movie. Third movie, I could forget it. It was okay.
Yo, I just did a Google search for My Hero Academia movie. They don't even show the third one. That's how bad it is.
Third one it made money, but it just wasn't a good. It was kind of whack. Like it was like a travel movie, road movie.
Oh Lord! All right, so yeah, My Hero. Gran Torino is apparently
That's the homie.
Shikagami, whatever the dude that be disintegrating people.
Little
You know what I'm saying?
Tomura Shigaraki.
Yeah, Shigaraki. That boy, the crumble
decay,
boy.
if you will.
That he's apparently his granddaddy. So I was like, oh snap, word. I'm like, y'all just gonna drop that on brother before the end of an episode?
So Torino is his Gran Torino it was with Nana. That was his old lady?
No, y'all are his mama. He's related to not Gran Torino. He's related to
Nana.
Oh girl, That's his family lineage.
Well, the way the anime made it look was kind of like Gran Torino was his grandfather.
It's because his grandma is old girl. I was just wondering, like,
I mean, he might have slid off a little. You know, Gran Torino don't sleep. You know what I'm saying? When he was young, he was doing it.
My question though, real quick, I love Gran Torino and I love his Mega Man style. Anime does this thing. How come people be like 2-3 feet taller when they're younger, and then all of a sudden they shrink down to like
that shrinking gene?
How do you shrink that much from your regular height? And they always do that to the guys. Like they do it to the girls.
They do it to the girls too. Some what's her name?
In the 80s,
Genkai from Yu Yu Hakusho. She's
like,
a little bitty old thing.
Oh snap!
But she was still kind of relatively short.
She was short because she was a woman, but she wasn't. She definitely shrunk down. It'd be baby size.
But Gran Torino be looking like he about 6 feet tall. Now he 4 feet, 3 feet.
Yeah, he was mad tall.
They do that to make them seem like they weak, but obviously they're not.
Maybe it's because like he was training in gravity and it like pushed him down. I don't know.
It just be like, I know they just do that because he's supposed to be an old feeble man, but then he'll stomp the hell out of you with his big boots.
Yo,
yeah, and like Deku says in like season 2 or 3, whenever he trains under him, he's like, he does that as a tactic too. He acts like he's the old man as part of his strategy. He plays dumb is how Deku does it.
My bad. I just had to throw that out there. Like, is it just me in this flashback, or is there's a height difference?
And this season we also see a lot of people are being like, hold up. He wants to all for one. Hold up, why he following Deku? You gonna have to let that secret out, player. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have to let that secret out. You gonna have to be like, look, I'm the next to rep. You know what I'm saying? Sooner or later, you gonna have to be like, yo, y'all. He gonna have to have that press conference where he's like, I am Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have to do that.
Speaking of things, you know what? I'm gonna give somebody some credit.
How many people know at this point? Including the dangerous players, you might as well get ahead of that PR scandal.
Seriously,
yeah.
Because all the villains know. All the villains who need to know. They want to kill you.
So let's say probably about 4 or 5 villains know, and probably about 4 or 5 heroes know.
And it's a little more than that.
I'm gonna say,
like,
probably
for
so.
instance, like the police detective knows. Like there's some random people that know. The principal knows at the school. Like everybody, there's more people that know that you would think. Because when they first started the show, they acted like it had to be a big secret. It didn't. They just kept bringing in people, and be like, "Well, they know about it." I'm like,
Night Owl, whatever his name, Night Owl knew. He knew about it.
Bakugo knows now.
Yep.
And I'll give this. You know what? A character who he finally grew on me. Character-wise, and I know that I'm sure in the manga, everybody who loves him says about this. I hated Bakugo for the longest because I just thought he was such a typical ass. Sorry, for the curse.
He was such an anime trope. I mean, he still kind of is. He's clearly Vegeta. He's clearly
finally grew up this season. The last 2 is like, all right, thank you. You're finally growing up, man. Like he assessed the danger level, and you're like, all right. I do want to beat Deku, under my own power. But yeah, I gotta be a hero. Like I love that he grasped the concept of All Might is my inspiration, and I'm going to rock this to the end. And I'm going to show you how I'm gonna be a hero my way, and I'm gonna work with Deku. And he's fine. Like I finally love that, in the recent episode, how he's like, he got it. And it's like, okay, I can finally let some of my hatred for Bakugo go. But it's just Bakugo fans, man.
I was always a fan of Bakugo. Now, granted, maybe because I read the manga at the time, and knew some of the things, but also even in his earlier stages, I mean, it just left so much room for development. I'm like, you knew that he was going to be like the rival or the second fiddle or whatever you want to call it. So I knew he wasn't going to be ignored by the writers. Like, I'm like, they're going to have to do something with this kid, right? So, I took him with his flaws because, like I said earlier in the session, like, I appreciate seeing some of those obvious flaws, but I didn't hate him. I didn't even dislike him. I disliked Deku at the time for the reasons Bakugo did, in fact. So I could see where he was coming from, his frustration. We've had this conversation before, Keith. But
Deku did nothing wrong. He was just writing notes.
It's not an issue of right and wrong. It's an issue of perspective.
The perspective is wrong.
No, that's not a proper way of thinking about it, man. Fine, because I'm not talking about back when he was putting his face in the dirt. That's not when they were like toddlers. I'm not talking about that.
I'm talking about up to high school when they started high school.
That's what I'm talking about, is that he was frustrated because he's been out here grinding. Even since he was a kid, he's been out here grinding, and he's seeing something because he didn't know the story of everything. He's seeing something as something being potentially handed to somebody, and all of a sudden now I'm going to be as good as you. And he's been.
I give another perspective on that perspective, and I ain't gonna say you wrong. Maybe I'm wrong for saying wrong. I think this is what made me hate Bakugo more. He, to me, has been handed everything. He's been given a god level quirk. He does know how to use it. He has 2 parents. He's had his butt kissed his whole life. He don't have to.
That's not true at all.
No. Don't. I'm talking about what the heck. I don't care what the book shows. No, this boy has been good.
That's not true, Keith.
Like, he has 2 parents.
What does him having 2 parents got to do with anything? That's just how you're born.
His parents have a
That's
real
not
good
fair.
marriage.
I'm talking about the power here, man. Everybody around him is basically saying you would be better off being a villain. Your attitude, the way you go about stuff, we don't trust you.
My perspective, this is why I hate Bakugo.
You can't bring the fact that he has 2 parents and
no. Because
he's got 2 parents. And his name is Clarence, and they have a very good marriage.
I'm just saying, I'm gonna throw that in there because this dude.
Well, I'm not gonna really argue that point because you're bringing in stuff that I feel like is unraiain't. Like their livelihood is not a reason to hate someone. It's not like he was.
My perspective of Bakugo, I'm saying for me, I ain't saying everybody gotta have this perspective. I'm saying he had everything. He took his power and chose to abuse it and pick on a dude who's basically handicapped.
Once again, you're talking about. We said we weren't talking about when they were toddlers. We're talking about when they were high school. No. You didn't do any of that when they were in high school.
No. He was picking on him until picking on that boy when they were going up to high school.
He was.
He admits that's what I'm saying. His starting point, he has developed, right? So I'm talking about when he goes to UA and he finds out that this guy comes to UA too, and it's like basically I'm scared. Oh my God, my dog. See, Mina, you got my dog all riled up.
Got the dog.
Riled up. But I'm just saying, Bakugo got everything. Deku, yes, he got the quirk, but his quirk is tearing his body up.
I don't think handed to is the right. I don't think handed to is the right phrase because you're insinuating that he just got everything on silver platter. That's just not facts.
A better situation.
Yeah, he was
training and practicing, and there's flashbacks proving that he was training and practicing.
Yeah, but he was already born with the quirk.
Deku was given a quirk that could have killed him, though.
But that was the quirk. See, now you're going to get into extra stuff. And this isn't on Deku. This is where I'm trying not to be too loud because there's someone here in the room that has not heard this. But that falls on All Might at that point. Because if I'm going to be real, and I have no hate against Deku or anything, that power should have not gone to Deku. Period. There was already someone there that was prepared to take on the mantle, who also has been working hard.
I give that. Muriel was a good.
All Might should have not, and I'm not hating Deku for that. I'm not like, oh, Deku's a blah blah blah. I'm just saying that
Amelia would be good. I like Amelia.
Objectively, for the world, since this is such a huge power that no one's supposed to know about, we're supposed to make sure we take good care. And this is, you should have put it to someone's body that could have taken it and would have helped him. You know what I mean? So yeah, Deku, that power's not meant to be in his body, but whose fault was that?
All Might. Right. That's All Might. That's an oversight. Like, I love All Might, but all right, I give you that. In one-to-one comparison, Amelia would have been a better choice. In reality, I'd probably be like, why the hell did you give this to Deku? Give it to Amelia.
All right, so
he was on his way around the corner, man, to give it.
Yeah, all right, I'll give it to Muriel. Muriel probably should have had it, but here's why I'm cool with Deku getting it, and why I kind of side-eye back Kachan, Bakugo, whoever, a little bit. All right, so yes, he was born with a dope power, so that was given to him. Now, through training and stuff, of course, he had to hone it, but after honing it, he could have used his ability, his power, his status to not crap on people below him, even up until the point of going into school. But he didn't. He still crapped on people. Now, Deku, someone who had no ability, this is basically where they kind of bite off of like a lot of other older tropes, even Captain America to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? You take the scrawny guy that has all the heart, you know what I'm saying? And then he's like, oh, so that's the... You know what I'm saying? Because even without the power, he still exhibits, heroism. So, I mean, yeah, they kind of do the Captain America thing with him. But after he gets this power that puts him above where Kachan is at the time, you never see Deku sun him. Like, he never suns him. You never see him like, aha, in your face, player, aha.
Not to be fair,
he never even tries to shine on him.
There is a scene where he does keep going back and forth and says, well, I'm going to be better, and I'm going to do that too. And
that's just confidence building.
Like, shut up. So, I mean,
that's basic competition. That's not... Attitude. That's basic competition. That's not like teasing.
He's got shonen protagonist energy. He's going to be like that at times. He can't help that. It's just not my flavor.
And can I say this too? I'm just saying, maybe it's a little bit more in depth for me. As a special needs parent, Deku is basically special needs in a world where if you don't have powers, you are less than. You have nothing. Thus his name Deku would be useless.
Yeah, they do kind of. They kind of like look down on people without powers, like
you're nothing.
And I appreciate you. I appreciate you sharing your idea. For me, I wish there was some, and I don't think there would have been a way, and I don't have a way to that. I almost wish that there was a way for him to succeed, being quirkless, to prove that you can be the best you can be without needing that additional.
You know what he should have been?
But I think he proved that. I think he proved that when he saved. I think he proved that when he saved the girl in the beginning, like episode 5 or whenever that was. I think he kind of proved it. He fails, but that girl didn't die. You know what I'm saying? That's why he kind of stood out. It's like, oh snap! This dude put his body, his life in limb and danger.
When he got caught up by the slime monster. That's why he got the power.
Things. Yes, he does all those things. I'm saying that even all that stuff happened, something with power still had to happen for the overall success. But I'm saying if this was this, I agree that I don't think there's a universe where Deku could have been like the protagonist and do all the best. But I mean, I think of characters of like Rock Lee, right? Where you still still strong in their own right, despite not having this. He gets, because protagonist energy, he gets this basically this giant thing that's going to, no matter how the show ends, we know it's going to end with Deku being the number one hero. That's going to happen because of this. If there was some way to have written this and not necessarily become number one, but he becomes the best he could be just being who he is, that would have been a really cool way of not just giving him something that's just going to project him there. Like, we know how this ends now. You know what I mean? It's that. So that's just my 2 cents. As far
in
as
other words, he would have been Batman instead of Tony Stark. I'm just saying. I'm just
yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what we put it.
But you know what?
So-
And I'll just say this as someone who has watched like 3 episodes. Bakugo has he just got big bully energy, and I don't rock with that. I like to see somebody put him on his tail.
And notice what I said. He has changed up until now for me. I know for other people,
Yeah,
but
he's a lot better. He's a lot better.
he's a
this
lot
season.
better now because he's more considerate. Even if he's rival, he's more like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat you, Deku." It's not like, "I hate that you exist because you're doing good now." Like, what, you a hater? You a hater?
Yeah, it's like,
but he's not a hater no more.
it's like you were mad. You were mad that he didn't have skills. Now he got skills, and you still
And you
mad.
mad,
So
you
what's
mad
the
up.
issue? You know what I'm saying? But one thing I will say that I did not like about what I've seen up this far in the season, yo, your boy Deku and Kachan go off. They like running away, trying to lead Crumble Man away. Yeah, I said Crumble Man. All right.
Ashy,
So-
little Ashy.
Ashy, trying to lead Ashy away. Yo, y'all gonna forget the dope trio team? Y'all ain't gonna let Shoto go off with him? Yo, y'all gotta have the 3, my dude. You gotta have
They
Shoto
say
with him.
They say Shoto got too much shine in the movies.
On the low.
Shoto has something else he has to encounter. Spoiler avoid.
All right,
Okay.
cool. But because on the low,
Shout out
I
to
was
Shoto.
I was talking to my wife last night, who, like, you know, she sees it when it's on or whatever. But I was like, on the low, someone who can just create ice or fire from nothing at that scale is kind of like the dopest character. like,
Yes.
on the low, like, I know he's not the star, but on the low, like, if someone could just create fire, like, they don't have to.
You are
not
Iceman
where you
and
can
the Human
control
Torch.
fire.
In one power.
Yeah. I'm like, yo,
Like,
where's
why?
Shoto? Yo, why Shoto? I'm like, yo, put Shoto in the mix, son. We need our top 3. You know what I'm saying? We need our Trinity up there. You know what I'm saying? So
He has the most unresolved backstory too, which will, you know, if they do start touching on it and everything, or not touching on it, they go
him
into
and his
it.
dad, they don't speak in terms now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Papa
and
got
they're gonna keep fleshing that out, which is interesting to see, and everything.
Because Endeavor,
So,
I want on Endeavor's side, but now that homie he been working, he been putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? To atone.
I'm still not on the devil's side.
no, I'm never gonna get with an abuser like that.
Nah,
I'm
he
never.
was a
That'd be a
dog.
conversation for when they
Well, hold-
animate
hold-
everything.
He's a great
All right,
hero.
now hold on.
Terrible person.
Before I go further, Endeavor is not an abuser now. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna believe in rehabilitation for people like Vader or people like any of these anime characters, the dude has been doing the work. He has been actively trying to be better and atone.
Right there. Can I disagree with you right there? That dude got, and then this is why he never went to jail for being an abuser and served time. He got excused because of his status.
Okay,
Yeah,
and I'm cool with you. Actually, I'll agree with you. Now let's go on that same line. Any anime character that has never gone to jail, we now have to remove their redemption status. Are you willing to do that?
I'm willing to do it for me, a lot of people.
Yes.
Because like
Orochimaru,
because that happens in anime all the time.
Orochimaru should be dead.
Like
He's
that
punished
happens in anime all the
him off
time
for
where
their
they
war
don't go
crimes.
to jail, but they still get redeemed, and we're supposed to be cool.
Orochimaru is a PTO mom, man.
He's a perv. He's a child snatcher and a murderer.
Yeah, wow.
And he's a terrorist. God, he should be dead. Orochimaru should be
He'd
dead.
definitely be dead.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Well, the only reason I say that is because anime does this all the time, where the guy or the girl does not go to jail and they're seemingly redeemed and everybody's cool.
So I feel what you're saying. I'm gonna have a counterpoint to this. So one thing I appreciate about My Hero is, despite its cosmicness of everything going on, it's still grounded in some sort of reality. For instance,
Yes.
when the school got attacked, the teachers had to have a press conference, just like you would if there's a school shooting, like to say, like, these are the things we're doing to increase security, blah, blah, blah. They talk about marketing and all these different things all the time. They talk about there's some realism and consequence in their actions. Even like in the fight we're watching now, they try not to put the students on the front line, or they tell them, don't go run off and do it yourself. And if you do that, we're going to strip your license. Like, there's repercussions versus like in Naruto, all these other shows. The kids will run out and do whatever. They'll say today, and then it's like, oh, you saved the day. Like, they don't get in trouble for actually, but you were still wrong. My Hero is different. Like, you still get in trouble for things that are consequential. So in a show like My Hero, where there is a jail, there should be ramifications and things like that. Yes, he should go and turn himself in, and or at least release a statement to say that he has done wrong. The eyes of the public, he's never done anything wrong.
Like, people get it confused. Thank you, and honestly, I appreciate you, Ninja, for this point. I'll talk to people, and people look at me crazy in conventions. I'll be like, I can't rock with Endeavor as a man. Like, and for me personally, I know this is shonen, but like she just said, it's rooted in reality. If we talk about cops and robbers, law and criminal justice, Endeavor would be in jail. But like in real life, because who he is, he had it excused. Like, Endeavor, but unfortunately, you need an Endeavor because he's so damn great at what he does. But people ain't gotta really rock with him like that. Like,
and there's a way they could have did it, because no one would press charges. Like, the mom wanted to press charges. They could have had a press. These are the things that I've done. I'm working as the family up there. I'm going to anger management classes, whatever, or I'm gonna do this and whatever. That would have been realistic enough that A, he's not going into jail, and then B, they're still acknowledging him publicly for all the stuff he has done over the past 20
the man
years.
created his kids out of eugenics. F that boy. It's like,
I am completely fine with going down this line, but with every anime where they do this, there is a jail or a punishment of some sort that character does not get, and we still allow those characters to have the redemption. Also, when it comes to the people that he actually harmed, he has been working to atone with them. Now, technically, I guess you could do the public thing, but he didn't do eugenics to me, say if I'm living in the My Hero world. He didn't, so I don't even know. He don't need to apologize to me. He needs to apologize to people he did it to. So,
he created his kids know that they were created. They called them failures because Shoto was the one that got both of the quirks. Think about that for a second. I
am not saying I've watched the show. I know what goes on. What I'm saying is, he's been doing the work. Now, if you argue that it doesn't matter whether he's done the work, I'm saying, cool, I'm with you. The only thing is, we need to throw out all of the other animes where all these other villains that now they're kind of good and we got love for them. We got to throw them out too. Because it's like I feel like we pick and choose in these animes.
I ain't picking and choosing.
He's
not
redeemed
either.
enough.
I don't think there's one person that you can
say
tell me
we,
that
I mean
like
the wide fan base. Like the wide fan base will be like, oh yeah, they're great, they're awesome. It's like, but didn't they do this and this? Like, perfect example. We just had a TV show called Loki. Loki came in, he ripped the dude's eyeball out, and then and he was trying to essentially, enact genocide on the whole planet. But now, hey, let's watch Loki, and the wide public is cool with it, and I'm fine with that. All I'm saying is, we need to figure out what line we're on. If we're going to say no redemption, cool, I'm down with no redemption. But then let's not do no redemption never. But
I will say this though,
Loki went to jail though.
I'm enjoying watching him
suffer. In jail.
I am enjoying watching him suffer, trying to figure out the TVT. But yes, he should be. If they end Loki, like if Loki was to die at the end of Loki and suffer, I'm fine with it. I'm gonna enjoy the ride. But yeah, he pretty much is a criminal.
Who is brutal?
Yeah, look, I don't care.
That is apparent.
Like, Loki's a piece of fun, entertaining piece of garbage.
Piece of garbage.
I'm keeping it PC.
I'll say for Endeavor, I think
hero,
through the
but-
last season, I think Endeavor has been actually making a valid attempt at trying to atone for what he's done. I mean, of course, you can never undo it. You know what I'm saying? But I will say, at least the way they're writing it seems like he's trying to,
you know what,
honestly be the man that people believe him to be.
I'll give you this, Mike. I think he is realizing that he made some mistakes, and he's starting to finally see I think it's sad that it took his favorite son to wake him up to be like, look what you've done to my siblings, and like I will work with you, because I like how Shoto said it. Like, look, I need you to teach me how to be the better hero, but you're gonna have to do like he didn't just overly forgive him. He cares about him.
He made all of his siblings made him work to be like actually, and I mean the older brother still ain't like fully on board.
Because he probably got it the worst.
Yeah.
You know,
there's even more to it, so I think this would be a great conversation to have once the last few layers are revealed, and because we're close to it. To really have because it'd be cool to compare that conversation to the one we're having now. I do
folks,
agree that he's giving it.
I was just saying, see, folks, to the audience, you can apply real world stuff to anime. You ain't got to do the whole, like Mike said, we just gonna forgive you. You mass murdered 100,000 people. You blew up a planet, but we love you now. You can actually apply these things if a story continues. So just say it to the audience.
You blew up a planet. You good? All right. So to my last. Last anime, which I'll jump back to Jujutsu Kaisen real quick. I used to rock with Jujutsu Kaisen. I used to be like, Jujutsu Kaisen, they giving me the flavor. And there was this little anime called Demon Slayer where I was like, all right, Demon Slayer, all right, cool, no problem. All right, I see my boy Kamado, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing. All right, no problem. All right, both of y'all doing your thing. But see, season 1 of Demon Slayer was entertaining. And season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen was entertaining. But then Demon Slayer dropped a movie. And I was like, oh snap, oh, okay. I see where you're going. Oh, y'all stepping it up. And then Jujutsu Kaisen dropped a movie. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Y'all got some hotness too. But then season 2 of Demon Slayer came. And it made me completely forget about Jujutsu Kaisen completely. I'm go in and say right now, after the end of season 2, Jujutsu Kaisen is not even in my not even on my radar no more. Like I ain't even. I'm like, somebody like, yo, Jujutsu Kaisen. I'll be like, all right, I'll see it when I see it. Yo, Demon Slayer is fully cemented as the supernatural horror / action anime for me right now. Jujutsu Kaisen, your movie was alright, but it won't read. Alright, look, the emotion from Demon Train, you know what I'm saying? The emotion that you get. Then when you take it into season 2, you got my boy with the jewels. You know what I'm saying? The action, bruh, the fight sequences, you got, bruh, look, the layers upon layers of heroism that went down in season 2, especially in the last 5 episodes, whatever it was. Look, it's not to be matched right now. All right, Demon Slayer is shutting down the game. That's all I have to say about it. Demon Slayer
does something that a lot of anime aren't doing right now, because they feel like they have to check off a formula of this character, this type of character, this has to happen, whatever. Demon Slayer, like you said, invokes emotion. It makes you care about the characters.
Yes.
Even the villains, even if you only see the villain and they fight for 3 episodes or whatever. But you watch the Infinity Train or whatever, and you're crying at the end of the thing because you cared. You cared about the character.
This is
stuff
true.
In there, whatever. It evokes emotion out of you, which a lot of anime is just not doing right now. Not only evokes emotion in an action franchise. You know, so you know, I mean, we've cried over Jiraiya, we've done all that stuff, but then it's like, then you wait 15 years before you have that emotion for a character again in this type of audience. It's really cool to see, and then of course, like you say, match it with the soundtrack and animation, you really have a really good contender here.
Y'all, it's Ninja she reached into my brain and took the words that I had and said them, but she said them way better than I ever could. Dang, girl. Yeah, like
for that. He said it perfectly.
Coop was telling me, you gotta watch Demon Slayer. And I finally started. And I was calling him, I was like, after every episode, I was like, Coop, I am in my feelings.
Bro,
why am I feeling so much?
And Mark watched it together, and like we all was about to, shed a tear, and it was just like, and then the music was hitting. They showed the look. What I think you
hit you with that music.
Like they showed the crow, and he popped.
Bro,
back
the crow cried, man. The crow shed that single tear. I was done.
He shed a single thug tear, like
not the thug tear.
I could have fell out.
Hey, y'all, I had to scrub thug life off my stomach because I was no longer a thug. I was weeping. I was weeping softly.
And then season 2, I mean, we've seen Nezuko come out and, do what she had to do to save people. But in season 2, the level at which he comes in, I mean, yeah, she also is kind of like a MacGuffin, but look, just let that slide for now. Homegirl came out, not only was she a MacGuffin, yes, of course, but still trying to get her back to like, baby girl, you got to calm back down. Because I can't have you go full, you can't go full Hulk up in here because I'm trying to save your life. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to bring you back to the regular, regular human. And then like seeing her, that love that she had, like, you ain't going to kill my brother. Man, look, man.
I love it. I love when she comes out.
Show us too dope.
And I'm gonna just say something. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna do this. She inspired even new cosplays, and I'm gonna leave it at that this season.
Boy.
But for various reasons. But yeah, man. I love. As much as I support Deku. Unreasonably sometimes. I won't have nobody insult Tanjiro. I love Tanjiro. I love Tanjiro about 10 times more than I love Deku. Because Tanjiro.
The funny thing is, in season 1, I was like, man, I might drop this show. But bruh,
Tanjiro,
I'm sold on this.
He's such a good boy, man. Such a good kid. And he deserves, like, he got to fight the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got the devil to come to his house, murder your family for no reason, or whatever. Well, they might be reasons.
He got to fight the devil. The devil looked like Michael Jackson.
What?
In Smooth Criminal.
Bro, the movie, when he had to kill himself to forget to leave the past behind, and when
that was deep. That was deep.
When old boy snapped him out of it, he's like, "Don't you go out like that! Don't you kill yourself!" And then they got to fight. I'm like, "Yes!" I was like, bro, that was one of the moments for me. I was like, God.
I promise. I was like, I called Coop and I was like, "Thank you so much, brother. I see the beauty in anime that Western animation just isn't able to capture." Thank you so much.
I converted Mark, right? He's like, I'm going to try anime from now on for the rest of my life.
Oh man. I felt like Moses. I had come back down from the mountain, my hair was white.
I mean, that's how they do in anime. You transform, so you hit your second level.
There's always like a transformation that goes on.
Well, I guess I'll throw in a couple of more anime for myself before we wrap. I'm gonna do these briefly. Since y'all didn't really watch, I'm gonna go ahead. I gotta do. Speaking of people I love, you mentioned Tanjiro. You mentioned Tanjiro. Tanjiro, Deku. Love those. Protagonist, Denji, Chainsaw Man. I love it. Oh God, I love it.
I've only watched one episode. I'm sorry, guys. I wasn't super impressed. I might give it another.
That's fine. More for me.
I was man. Cause
More
like
for
you
me.
told me, you were like, "Yo, Chainsaw Man gonna be the hottest," and I was like, "All right, word." And I watched it. I was like, "All right, cool."
You got to go
You
back.
know what?
To it.
It's Demon Slayer's fault though. It's Demon Slayer's fault, man. They messed me up.
Pure and as wonderful as the Demon Slayer folks are, nobody's really pure in say Chainsaw Man. Even though Denji got stuck with a bad hand. Dad was in debt with the Yakuza, killed himself. His mama was born with a heart condition. She died. He had to live like a homeless vagabond to be like, and had to pay off the debt. Stuff ensues, gets murdered, become Chainsaw Man, fused with his little demon dog. And I ain't gonna go much further there. Then he has to eventually become a devil hunter. So devil in this world, just to set the world up if nobody's watched it. I mean, I know y'all watched it, but for the audience, there are devil hunters in this world. There are no people know of devils per se, and they go by names. And the more feared they are, the more powerful they are. So let's say, I don't know, the cucumber demon or whatever may not be a bunch of nothing. Then you go punch it and kill it in the garden. Or the tomato demon or something. It's grotesque and all like that, but it's like he's just sitting there waiting to get killed, and it's like, sucking up life plants or something. So of course, Denji at base form without the superpowers can kill that or whatever. And I don't know why they made him 16. He looks like at least 19 and 20, but he's a 60-year-old kid. He's selling body parts of himself before he gets the powers to pay this debt that he's never gonna pay. And his motivations were like, I just one day want to be like, kiss a girl and have jam on toast. I'm like, oh wow, it hit me so hard about your first world problems. And it's like, oh shit, like I felt guilty for a second, briefly, like, damn, I want this boy to have jam on toast and go on a date one day.
Just want toast and jam, man. I
Hey, man,
never
but it must be jelly because jam don't jiggle like that.
Oh wow.
I'll binge it when it finishes. The two for me that I would like to put a pin in until our next conversation would be one would be Tokyo Revengers. I'm sure if Gamma was here, she would have mentioned it. So maybe have pin that conversation so she can engage.
When is it coming back?
I think I saw that it's coming up on the slate for 2023. I think I saw that in the post.
All right.
So I think it'll be back. Cool show. A cool show about mid 2000 teenage gangsters in Japan. Got a little bit of a time travel element there. So cool fun show that came out. I think that was last year. And then the second one, I can't believe we did not talk about it, so it's gonna have to come up in a future conversation. Is the ending of days as we get closer to ending Attack on Titan? That's conversation that should be had by all. And of course, we had.
I never got into Attack on Titan.
Me neither.
It was too depressive.
What is going?
I watched like one episode and I was like, I don't care.
I got to be real. Like, I ain't hate on it. I just looked at it. I'm like, maybe the way I was feeling, and it was late at night. And then I read more about the creator and his Nazi love. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let y'all have this.
It is an outstanding show. I will stand by it. I enjoy how, looking back as someone who watched this day one, watching what it becomes. Like when there's a shift from it being just us fighting Titans to it being a worldwide conflict, I think was a very pivotal moment for me, who's someone who watches anime, and the way they did it being something as simple, since y'all aren't watching this years ago, I'll say it, when it's something as simple as realizing they don't have photography on their side of the wall was a really cool way for doing it. And that's what was found in the basement. Like, I thought, like, after that, and then it just takes off into a whole different kind of angle, I think was really dope. And then even now, as we on part third, fourth of the end here, I'm excited to see how it ends, and then that'll be a saga closed in my life. And it will, depending on how it ends, it could become one of my top 10, I wouldn't say top 5, but top 10 anime.
the fans of it, like yourself, I think Gamma's a big fan of it. I hope Gamma come back so y'all can put that on segment. Y'all love the show. I love the cosplays. Cosplayers take it very serious and love it. So shout out to you all. I just never got into it myself. It's one of those that eluded me.
It is quite dark, quite graphic. All these little, and then a lot of the payoffs come way later. You have to pay attention, like language on the language on a sardine can, and then realizing they're not touching the ocean. How would that fish exist? Then you realize that this world is an actual, thing and stuff like that. And they introduce black people, so
that's like they introduce black people.
Introduced black people. Here's our one. No,
this one guy.
Well, they're on the other side of the world, so all these other people only know this. The wall scene of all Maria. That's all they knew, which is why Mikasa was revered as so beautiful and everything, because she was literally the only Japanese person walking around, or only Asian person walking around. Everybody else is European centric. Little stuff like that. I think is just
speaking of
interesting about the show.
I'm gonna throw something out real quick as we're working down. I'm pretty sure anime that I distrust right now, other than Boruto. That should be a segment. Anime that I've dropped other than Boruto, that I'm not really caring if it comes back or not. And I'm sad to say this, is One Punch Man. Season 2 pissed me off so much.
I didn't even watch season 2 because so many people told me not to watch it.
Don't plan on it.
Season 2, from just the open racism of the way they animate. Like, it was bad in season 1, but you kind of can get through it. Kind of tired of the whole pink lips thing, but then you go even further and make a character that's jet black, shiny bald head with red lips, I think, damn near. Had a brother looking like Super Mr. Popo out there. Yeah. And it was poorly animated.
I'm also not giving no kind of props to anything like that, or any kind of like leeway to anyone who's making characters that are essentially blackface.
But we ain't doing that on animation.
With what I'm saying, with the internet, there's no way that you don't know what this stuff is. And I'm sure you've heard of it, talked about. Anime has been criticized for this stuff for years. I ain't trying to hear it. It's anti-blackness in anime, and I don't like it.
If they could draw Megan Thee Stallion and make her look wonderful, I know you ain't the biggest Megan fan, I think, but she can get in there and do it, and they can make her look good, then there ain't no excuse for them to be drawing no stereotype.
Yeah.
No walking racist.
I mean, you do. I think this would be a good topic to pin for like an actual, just like another episode. You do have. This is an anime I dropped, I admit, but I do have to give them props for how they did people of color, black people, like Fire Force. You got people with locks now. You got different skin tones, all these different things. You got Mirko in My Hero. So it can be done. Even the gentleman that they have in Attack on Titan, even though he has big lips, they're done in a way that's not racially insensitive. You have a black volleyball player in Haiku, I think it is, and or Slam Dunk, and like these sports anime and stuff like that too. So there are people taking note. There is so much work to be done, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But there are some representation, and we get, for the first time in years, Yorichi back on the screen. Cannot wait. Not just Yorichi, but other characters and stuff like that too. But
Bleach was ahead of the game when they invented her.
She set the precedent for waifus everywhere.
Like, if you gonna make a black character, a black waifu, here you go. And also, I forgot to do this during the My Hero thing, and then I'm gonna mention my other anime that I just watching. I'm gonna be done. Shout out to Mirko in My Hero for one of the best 3-episode arcs as a hero. Just showing in My Hero, I love what they do when characters have their hero moment. She killed it. Shout out to the homie Alok, if you listening, because we was sending all type of memes to each other. He was going crazy with I can't even talk about some of the memes he was sending, but it was funny jokes. But she was killing it. I didn't even know how her powers really worked. I just knew she was a rabbit. Knew she was strong. I didn't know she was kicking like that.
I also didn't know she was supposed to be black. So, oh
Yeah, I did.
Her English voice actress is black to match the tone of voice they were going for.
Yeah, Miracle is black. And you know,
okay.
she a sister. We claim her. She dope.
Okay. I didn't.
Claiming her like you claim
He
Piccolo.
could have made her a little
honest,
darker in the anime.
Because I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell you about the shade. You're not looking like you're black. But you know what I'm saying? I know they got that CW
they could have
black
made her
going
darker,
on. So.
but there's also light skin. There's also there's some caramel complecteds out there too.
And shout out to all the black cosplayers who do Miracle justice from everywhere. I've seen from Mississippi to New Orleans to other places, cons I've been to the past year to Mobile. Shout out to you all. Y'all been killing it as Miracle.
Mm-hmm.
I did a Miracle Yorichi fusion, so
I do remember that.
Yeah, shout out to them, right?
Like shout out to Miracle being like representing my people, the light brights,
oh wow,
the people the color of eggnog. Be out here.
Now I'm gonna say this about her. I love what she did in the show. I got love for her. She was killing it. But baby girl, if you just had like some body armor, that might have like helped you in a lot of situations. But I also understand anime needs their sex appeal, so I guess I'll give it to you.
You want a PG show? Do not get me to acting a fool. I will promise you. I was like, yo,
I don't want to get some stuff. You got mad skills, but don't they have like a bio tri Kevlar weave or something that you can wear, like something that's like protective? Because like
she said she gonna get it off the strength out the mud with them legs. You gonna feel all these rabbit feet.
Oh boy.
Man, I will stop right there before it gets worse.
Comment. No comment. Anyway, let's go on. Look, all right. I'm gonna throw it to Ninja. Tell people where they can find you.
I am available on Facebook, Twitter, as it still exists, and now and Instagram. At the Ninja Cosplay. I'm dabbling with some ideas of some new platforms, but won't release those yet, pending Elon's trajectory for Twitter. But that's where I can be found. Yeah.
All right, no doubt. Mark Dub.
You can find me in St. Louis rolling on dubs. No, not really.
Not rolling on dubs though.
Nah, I do have 22s on my Camaro, but it's anyway. I'm at Mark Dub on IG. I'm at Mark Dub 44 on Twitter as it still exists. And I'm Mark Wallace on Facebook. I don't think you can find me unless you like friends of a friend, because I'm kind of exclusive.
Oh,
one of one.
All right. And on to Keith, Mr. Cooper.
Oh wow. I'm Keith Cooper. You can find me on Facebook. I'm Blerd-ish. Blerd-ish, the real one, on IG. Don't accept no fakes out here. I have to get on a fake every so often. But accept no fakes. We are at www.blerd-ish.com. That's www.blerd.com. Merch sale is going strong to the 16th. I got Miracle shirts. I got Deku shirts. I got Bakugo shirts. I got all my shirts. Even got my own Southern University. We lost. Got a bus kick. Fusion. All bite of a Jaguar. Shout out to Jackson. Shout out to Deion Sanders. Much love.
Shout out Gamma Ray.
Shout out Gamma Ray. Shout out
Gamma Ray.
And also I'm on Twitch, trying to go to affiliate. You can find Blerd-ish on Twitch. I've been playing all type of games. I'm a big Overwatch nut, but I do play some more retro games. But I do get to Overwatch itch. I'm gonna start Gundam Evolution, but I got a lot of stuff to play on the Switch, retro, beat 'em ups. Also, check out me and Mike and Open Mind. We talked about beat 'em ups and what we got coming out. What was coming up, and one I played through. Midnight Express all the way. I couldn't put it down. I loved it. So we're gaming, we're podcasting, we're talking anime, and we sell merch and dope black comic books and everything.
Yeah. So, y'all gotta go out and check them folks out. You know, follow them, especially on Twitter, as long as it lasts. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens. But of course, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. We'll see y'all later. I got announcements. I know we've been dark for a little bit, but we coming back. We got tons of stuff to do. A whole bunch of work ahead of us. Love all y'all. Most of y'all. Peace.
Peace.